Do you want to sell your home fast? Then call Fast Home Solutions at 1-800-560-CASH. We offer the convenience of selling your home without repairs, commissions, or closing costs. If you'd like a firm offer within 24 hours, call now. 1-800-560-CASH.
31 unmarked graves. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement was tasked with identifying the bodies on the site of the former Florida School for Boys in Marianna, a place where former students say guards violently beat young boys. Today, the FDLE revealed their findings, and Fox 13's Tanya Arja is here with more on that. Tanya.
Well, the men who attended the school back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s believe these graves mark the spot where students were buried after being beaten to death. The men say these latest findings are an attempt to cover up. No markings, no names. For years, these 31 graves stood untouched. Hundreds of men, now in their 60s, have come forward telling awful stories of being beaten inside this concrete building. The boys called it the White House.
They would beat you 16 licks with this great big leather strap. The wall would go slap, slap, pow. If you could stay in the 16 licks, you could get up and run back to your cottage. But if you couldn't, they would beat you until you could.
A group of more than 200 men who call themselves the White House Boys say some of the boys never came back. They believe these graves and other areas on the school property hold their remains. But FDLE says after a 5-month investigation, they found of the 31 graves, 24 individuals, 22 students, and 2 staff members died as a result of illness or accident. One teen was killed by other students. Another student, a runaway in 1940, was found dead 4 months later just off the property. 5 other people who died before 1925 had no listed cause of death.
There is no evidence in any of these cases to suggest that the school or staff made any attempt to conceal any of the deaths. Further, there is no evidence to suggest that the school or the staff caused or contributed to any of these deaths.
The White House Boys are not surprised with the findings.
As long as there's no body, nobody can find a body. It's all hearsay, it's all speculation.
They want the graves exhumed. The FDLE based their investigation on information from old school records, death certificates, and interviews with former staff.
We knew there was more graves than in the graveyard, and we've had several men come forward that have agreed to take the Florida Department of Law Enforcement out there and show them where the graves are.
But they say the FDLE has refused. Now, the FDLE will not exhume the graves. They say based on the amount of time that's passed, there's little chance of finding DNA, and even if they had a court order to exhume, there's no indication that the grave markers actually mark individual grave sites, so it's likely they would destroy the entire cemetery. The White House Boys say they won't be giving up. Their lawyers will be interviewing one of the former guards at the school next week. Mark?
And